Bengaluru take on Chennai. This is match number 52 happening in Bengaluru. And when it's CSK and it's RCB, it is always this biggest match of the tournament. But this time around, Roida, things have just been so different because of where CSK stand. And it will almost be like CSK playing for pride now because they have been eliminated. So what can we expect from CSK tomorrow?
I think you're absolutely right. It's pride. This is less of a match. This is more of a reunion, okay? The ultimate Indian captain, cool Indian captain, Dhoni, the person that he, literally made the next king, handed over to him. They have a very close relationship. Still Kohli looks on him as a mentor. And as Kohli has also said and Dhoni has also said, we don't know if he'll ever play again because this year, CSK is out. So it's definitely not this year, and next year, who knows? So there's a lot of emotion riding on the match, not so much on the result of the match for CSK because it doesn't matter so much. And the interesting thing is how Virat, more than Virat, I think Virat is allowed, he's not the captain. The RCB staff must make sure that this does not become an emotional journey. This is about today's qualifying. It's not about Dhoni versus Kohli, as everyone would have you believe. It's about RCB making sure that they're on point for that first or second place. And I think they will need to remain focused. CSK it's an easy match for CSK. They can play younger players. They can afford to go for it. They can afford to say, let's just give it for old time's sake. Let's show us how the yellow can roar.
Yes.
So it's a much easier match I see for CSK. I feel RCB it's important for them to stay focused and say, this is not about emotion. This is about first, second place.
Well, Polly, you know how emotional Indians are and Indian fans are. So when Joyda keeps saying it's not about emotion, we also know Virat loves these emotional setups because it really keeps him going, and the form that he's in right now, he doesn't require some more motivation and emotion because he's in sublime form right now, and we've seen what Krunal's done as well. So for RCB, yes, there is emotion, yes, there's this big game, but they'll have their blinkers on. They want those 2 points.
Yeah, I think that's the big focus. They'll have to put the emotion aside. They have to be clinical. They have to be focused. It'd be interesting to see what tactic they go with as well, because the two tactics are either you can put CSK straight into bat, their batting hasn't been good, and put them under pressure and say, okay, what are you going to post for us? Or either, if the conditions allow and the surface is going to be good, get a big score on the board and then put them under immense pressure to try and chase it down.
Bengaluru, I think this is a set side. Okay, the only thing, what are the changes they've made? They basically made sure Bethel has come in because Phil Salt is injured, and Particle just said they're still not aware of Phil Salt's status, so which means expect Bethel to play. He hit a couple of six. He hit 6 last time.
2 unbelievable shots. First 2. That was powerful.
Yeah, but and they in England they really rate him. Also gives you a fair amount of left arm spin. Look, I don't see this side changing for any reason because you're now in the final run.
Yes.
Unless there's injury or there's any pressing need, I wouldn't change the side at all. What about you?
Yeah,
just on Salt, we don't know if he's fit or not fit. If he's fit, obvious choice to come in.
I think he would. I think Bethel just had that one outing. Shepherd, I'm not too sure. He hasn't really given anything. So do they consider Livingston? It'll all go down whether they want another option from a spin perspective. But the bowlers have all been good. That's what's been the big change for me with the RCB. Everyone who stepped up, Bovey and Hazelwood at the top, Yash Dayal, and the two spinners have bowled nicely, Crunal, and so they've been okay. I think that's been the big change for me, and if they can continue to produce it, it's been the hardest ground for them has been back at home. But there's not much form coming out of the other batting lineup, so they'll feel as a bowling lineup that they've got a real opportunity here.
The 2 positives for CSK were Brevis and Sam Curran, so they will want to find more positives. Hopefully the youngsters fire for them as well tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it might be an opportunity. Brevis has had 2 goes and he's gone really well. Maybe he goes up the order just a touch and maybe Jadeja comes down. Curran, I would presume, would hold his own at that number 3 position. Ayush and Sheikh Rashid, I think they're the 2 that need to just show a bit more form and a bit of a start for them. Shiv Mandube, we haven't seen anything from Huda. We could also ask for more from him. But I think from those top 2, if you're looking for a surface that often offers up a nice pitch, it could be that tomorrow. But in saying that, the games I've seen or watched live there, there's been some steep bounce. I mean, if you remember Jofra Archer bowling
Yes.
to Kohli, it was hectic there. So that's why I'm saying it might be a real opportunity. RCB win the toss, bowl first on that kind of pitch, have them in trouble early, and then never allow them to get back into the game.
Actually, the one change I wouldn't mind seeing is Vansh Bedi to come in, because
Interesting.
he's a bat they really rate, and in the domestic circuit he did well. Let's face it, Deepak Hooda has been underwhelming this year. He's been absolutely underwhelming. And if you look at his IPL record, a batting average for somebody who's a batter between 16 and 18 or 20, that's where he is, really inspires no confidence. So I'd say, look to the future.
Yes.
What are you going to do in this match? Get Vansh Bedi in. Let's see what he looks like, And I'd definitely give him a chance. I'd give Brevis a chance again.
The only other thing I might add there is they might decide to leave Patarana out. The reason why is that ground in Bengaluru, it can be like a little bit of a trampoline and really easy to hit straight down the ground. We've seen a lot of teams go for length bowlers now because that seems to be the more difficult delivery to deal with at that ground. And I think Nathan Ellis might be the better option for that, where you can run up, hit the length, bowl the slow balls into the surface. Patarana loves to just go full, but I think that's quite easy. It's more difficult to hit in Chennai because that kind of bounces low and can stay underneath. So we'll have to watch the space to see if they make
Yeah, that would be an interesting change. Your players to watch out for, Joyda. We know your track record. You always choose the players who are not in the team. So your players to
I
watch
chose
out
players. I started with players who were not in the team. Then I started with players who didn't do so well.
Yes.
And then last couple of times I hit bullseye. And my players actually did well. So whether I'm now back on the circle choosing players who don't play tomorrow's, let's see where that goes. But Chennai, look, I think at some point in time, Shivam Dube needs to come good. He hasn't come good, and I think they really need a knockout of him. And for RCB, I think for me, Bhuvi is important up front. If he gets wickets up front, he's very dangerous for them.
I'll go Josh Hazelwood. I've loved his
wasn't
form
surprised
and
at all.
leading wicket taker. I want to see if that can continue. And I was going to go Curran, but I think I want a promotion for Brevis. And I want him to come in at number 4 and see what he can do, because that's more like a South African surface.